Assalamu alaikum and welcome to our program Question and Answers with myself Durusha Warzadi. Inshallah you will be able to watch this program every Friday 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. As we are all breathing in the holy month of Ramadan, our today's topic will be discussed in accordance of this holy month. Viewers, our telephone lines are open. Please join us with your views. Your calls are very important for us. And I would also request you to kindly ask questions related to the topic. You can also ask questions in languages other than English. Thank you. Now I would like to introduce our honorable guest for this evening, MOLANA ABBAS Mirza, renowned Alim-e-Deen. Assalamu alaikum MOLANA and welcome to the program.
Walaikum salam. Thank you very much.
MOLANA, I would request you to kindly enlighten our viewers with your precious views on this month of Ramadan Kareem, please.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim wa bihi nasta'in wa huwa khairun nasirin wa mu'in wa sallallahu ala Muhammadin wa alayhi tahirin. Assalamu alaikum to all our viewers and welcome to the program. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept all your fast and ibadat in this month of Ramadan. Indeed a blessed month, and we have entered 8th, or some are performing the 9th,
Yes.
of the month. As we laid the foundation of our programs in the month of Ramadan with the sermon of the Prophet, and we mentioned last week that it is recommended to invest in du'as in this month, especially Dua Abu Hamza Thumali, which is a long dua, and we said if one could perform that in parts and finish that in maybe 10 days or less or more, it's highly recommended. The Dua Sahar, which is also highly recommended to be recited in the early hours. I'm fully aware that the time is very short, but it would be nice if we could just play it in the back at least while we are sort of having our Sahri. Ideally speaking, it will be good that once we finish the Sahri, we sit and we do Dua Sahar, and then maybe we do our Fajr and Dua Abu Hamza a little bit. Nevertheless, if the time is very short, one could really play the Dua Sahar while one is performing or having one Sahri. Is good as well. It will be going in, it will be taken in. Then the other daily du'as are very important to be recited. There are short daily du'as, and recitation of those du'as and focusing.
Yeah, date-wise.
The date-wise,
Day
yes.
in the
Like
month
for
of
example,
Ramadan.
today we perform the 8th fast, and we recite the dua in which we talk about 4 things. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala about 4 things. One, we ask for an opportunity to take care of the orphans. If one looks at the daily du'as of the month, as it points out to most of the du'as, if you look at it, says Allahumma arzuqni fihi rahmatan. Allahumma arzuqni fi. This fi doesn't really mean that it is fi hadha al-yawm. Fi is for the whole month, but this dua is to be recited on that day. So if we are asking, for example, today, Allahumma arzuqni fi rahmat al-aytam wa it'am al-am wa ifsha salam, for example, doesn't mean that we only want to asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that we support the orphans today. No, it is a reminder. And throughout the month, different reminders by the day is given to us. For example, on the 8th is given the reminder of taking care of the orphans. How important it is really take care of the orphans. The Prophet, he was going to Mi'raj, and he stopped and he saw an angel recording every little thing, and the Prophet asked, what are you doing? He says, I record everything that ascends and descends from the heaven. Everything. A leaf falls, recorded. Hasana, bad act, everything is recorded. There's one angel who records everything that ascends from the heaven descends from the heaven, everything that ascends from this dunya, everything is. The Prophet asked that, is it anything that you cannot record? The angel said, yes, there are three things that I cannot. Number one, he said, the reward of recitation of salawat, I cannot record. And he gives the reason, because it is inna Allah wa malaikatahu yusalluna ala nabi ya ayyuhalladhina amanu sallu alayhi wa sallimu taslima. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Because it is in Allah, an act which is performed by God. How can I record that? That is an eternal act, because God is infinite, His actions are eternal. So the salutations of Allah upon the Prophet, and the salutations of the malaika, and asking us, yusalluna ala nabi ya ayyuhalladhina, O people who have iman, you also send salawat. So reciting salawat is an act of God. We are partaking in the action of God while reciting salutations upon Nabi and his Aal. So I cannot record that. That's number one. Number two, he says that the reward that in a Jama'ah prayer, Salatul Jama'ah, if there are more than 10 people, the Prophet said that if all angels sit, if all trunks becomes the pen and the oceans becomes the ink, they will not be able to record the reward for Salatul Jama'at in which there are more than 10 people. So it is highly recommended that we join Jama'at, and especially now the month of Ramadan, that we must make it a point that we join Jama'at. That's number two. And the third thing the angel said is that when a person gazes his hand on the head of an orphan, that reward cannot be recorded. I cannot record that reward, how much that person is getting. It's infinite reward. So on this day we ask Allah, Allahumma arzuqni, oh Allah, give us the opportunity to really take care of the orphans. The month of Ramadan is reminding us of the orphans, and we really got to do something about it. Alhamdulillah, there are quite a few organizations, not to name, because I might miss some, it will be unfair, and they have credibility as well. It will be wise, to take care of an orphan at least for a year. There's certain amount of money that is donated towards that, to take care of an orphan for a year. The children of the shuhada, the children who are suffering, for example, it will be good to really take care of. Not just see the maqsad, the purpose of these du'as that we recite every day. They are not just to provide a lip service and to expect a reward in the hereafter, but rather it is for us that we do in this dunya. That when we are saying Allahumma rudda kulla gharib, Allahumma fukka kulla asir, Allahumma islah kulla fasidin min umuri al-muslimin, right? Allahumma aghdanna ad-dayn wa aghnana min al-faqr, right? We Allahumma adkhil ala ahli al-qubur as-surur. Yes, it's a dua, but we got to do something for that surur to enter the paradise. We have to do something on behalf of the marhumin, so that surur enters the grave, not just the lip service, right? So when we are saying Allahumma arzuqni, oh Allah, provide us the opportunity to take care of the orphans, we got to do something about it. We are asking Allah that, oh Allah, provide me the opportunity to do so, but we are not creating the ground. We are not taking that step. It's like saying, oh Allah, give me, increase my risk. Oh Allah, increase my risk. If I close the door and say 1,000 times I don't do anything, any harakah, as Allah says, you got to do the harakah, right? Then how the risk will increase, right? So when we are doing the dua, Allahumma adkhil ala ahli al-qubur as-surur, we got to do something in order that dua is mustajab. When we are asking for risk, we at the same time we do something, right? So the same way when we are saying, oh Allah, give me the opportunity to really take care of the orphans, we got to do something about it. Pick up that phone, donate for a year, sponsor a person who is yatim. And then we also ask, oh Allah, give me the opportunity to feed the hungry ones, people who are hungry. Once again, there are ways of doing that. As the Prophet says, a person who gives it one date, iftar for a person, the reward is so much, like freeing a slave, for example, that much reward. Then the opportunity to really ifsha, to broadcast salam and peace, to really propagate, to really spread peace. And today, people being slain in the masjid, in Jummah prayer in Kuwait, in France people slain, in Tunisia people being killed, where the month is the month of Allah, the month is the month of peace, the month of dua, the month of forgiveness, the month of giving, the month of charity. In this we see these actions by these so-called Muslims. It's very unfortunate. They claim themselves to be Muslims, right? To carry out these horrendous acts against humanity, against justice, killing people by those who are going in Friday prayer, in Jummah prayer. We all are suffering. We all are suffering from these so-called terrorists, from the so-called Muslims, those who are terrorists. So this is what we ask. Now, as we are approaching, the month is the month of forgiveness as well. Yesterday, few days ago, and we continuously ask for astaghfar in this month. Amirul Mu'mineen says there are different stages of astaghfar. He says number one is an-nadm. One must detest, one must be embarrassed. Nadm is embarrassed. One must be sad that he has committed such an act.
To feel ashamed of oneself.
Right. He should feel ashamed of his action, what he has carried out. And with this nadm, he should have azm. That means he should have that will not to do this act again. Yes, I have done this act, I'm very embarrassed, I'm very sad, I'm very sorry for what I have done. So not just that, I have to make sure that I have the will not to carry that act again, that I will not be doing that again. That's number two, azm. Number three, fulfilling the rights of others if the sin have been committed on their on their behalf, or have caused damage to them. If I committed a sin which I am really embarrassed and ashamed, and I will not do it again, but I have to seek forgiveness from the person, from the makhluq whom I have committed this act against.
The sin who affects someone else.
The sin who affects someone else. Yes, I have to seek forgiveness for that, from them. Number four is where Hazrat Amirul Mu'mineen says that you have to make it up for the sin that you have committed with the by fulfilling the responsibility that you have against Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I have committed a sin and that was against God, so I have to make it up for that. Simple example, I miss the prayers, I have to make it up, I have to do the qada. I have not paid the zakat, I have not given charity, for example. Make it up, we have to do that. I have not done the fast, I have to make it up. Then that is astaghfar, that's true astaghfar. That is why it says that the Laylatul Qadr is known as the Eidul Awliya. Eidul Awliya is known as the feast for the saints of Allah, for the friends of Allah. The Laylatul Qadr is the New Year day, where a person calculates all of his actions because it's the night of Astaghfar. So he should calculate the sins that he has committed, the mistakes that he has made, and he should have the will not to commit again. He should plan it for the next year. That is why it is known as the Feast of Awliya, Eidul Awliya.
Eidul Awliya. Okay. Thank you very much, Maulana. MashaAllah, very beautifully explained. We need to go on a short break. We will take a short break. Stay with us. We will be right back.